In this video, we're going to look at how to undertake a DOPS or an OCE using OneFile. Now, it's useful to think of this whole process as a 5-step process. First of all, we're obviously going to choose which assessment we're going to undertake. And in order to make that choice, we need to understand which assessments we have to do. And to understand that, we need to go to the curriculum library. So let's just quickly jump into the curriculum library. And here we are looking at the histocompatibility and immunogenetics program. And right now I'm working on a particular rotational module, which is this clinical biochemistry module. And if we just click on work-based assessments here, we find in the curriculum library that to complete this module, we have to complete one case-based discussion and one of the following DOPS or OCEs. And in fact, in this case, there are 5 DOPS that we can choose from. So let's, for the sake of argument, let's say we're going to perform this particular assessment to undertake IQC procedure acceptance criteria. So back into the presentation. So we've selected which assessment we want to undertake. This may be a process that involves some direction or some negotiation with our training officer. Second of all then, as a trainee, it's your responsibility to arrange the assessment event with your assessor. Talk to them, email them, get the event in the diary, but it's your responsibility to arrange when this event is going to take place. That's step 2. Step 3 is obviously the event itself, the particular DOPS or the particular OCE which your assessor will observe. And it's only after the event has happened that OneFile comes into play. And step 4 here is that the trainee makes a submission in OneFile asking for feedback on the assessment event. And we would recommend that you do this immediately following the assessment event. So let's jump into OneFile and let's walk through what the trainee would do. Here we are on OneFile, looking at the trainee homepage, the portfolio dashboard. And what would we do to start walking through this process? We would go to submissions, we'd click on start new submission, and from the methods drop down list we would choose, in this case, a DOPS. And we need to give it a title. Here it's to perform the IQC procedure acceptance criteria. And then we hit start. Now we have to select from the list of particular competencies, assessment and standards which one we are submitting some evidence towards. So we just click on the big button there, the big plus button. We go into the module, which was this clinical biochemistry module. And here we can see the list of those 5 DOPS or OCEs that we have to complete simply one of. So we select the particular DOPS, which was the IQC procedure acceptance criteria. And at this point, we should go to the bottom of the page and simply click on Save and Quit, which takes us to the next stage in the process. So as you can see, we've selected our method, which was a DOPS. We've given it a title. We've selected the particular assessment from the list of possible assessments that we could submit evidence for. And then here, unlike a competency where you have to provide the evidence within OneFile, the evidence has already happened, so to speak, at the assessment event. So what we would recommend that you do at this point is simply use OneFile to write a message to the person who assessed you, inviting them to give you feedback on the particular event. So for example, we could write, please could you provide feedback upon, and we might use the title of the event, we might mention the date, and it may also be very helpful if you were to provide your own reflections on the event for the assessor to reflect on when they provide their feedback. So you might type in some reflections about how you felt the event went. But effectively what you're doing here is simply asking for your assessor to provide you with some feedback on the particular assessment event. You then have to sign this submission by ticking beside your name, and you hit Save and Quit. jump back into the process. So we've now completed step 4, which is that we've simply asked for feedback on the assessment event. The ball is now in the assessor's court, and the assessor may choose to download one of the assessment proformas. There's a DOPS proforma, an OCE proforma, a CBD proforma inside OneFile in the resources section, which they can download, and they can then use that proforma to provide some comments against a set of domains, and they can re-upload it when they follow the link they will receive after you have in step 4 asked for feedback. They will follow the link to your submission, and they will then decide whether, first of all, you performed the assessment satisfactorily, and secondly, they will provide you with a range of feedback on how you did. So that is how you use OneFile to perform a DOPS or an OCE. It's worth us telling you also that there's a specific how-to video targeted at assessors for how they walk through their particular side of the steps involved in performing a DOPS or an OCE.